Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about why the Indominus-Rex doesn't grow as big as the Ingen Spinosaurus Part 2, because I recently found some more evidence to prove it. And I'm also going to be talking about why the Ingen Spinosaurus also probably had Sarcosuchus DNA and Dinosuchus DNA, because there's been more evidence towards that as well. And I'm also going to be joined by a special guest, so go ahead, bro, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. You might know me from SpinoFan666. But I'm here with Spinosaurus the King, and, explaining why the Ingen Spinosaurus is stronger than the Indominus-Rex.
Yeah, true. Because, I have done 2 videos showing why the Spinosaurus wins. We'll talk about that a little bit. But the main thing we're going to be talking about is, why the Spinosaurus would grow bigger and why the Spinosaurus also has Sarcosuchus and Dinosuchus. It took me, I don't know why it took me that long to figure it out, but it definitely had it. And, let's start with that. So, me and Pedro recently looked at the jaw of the Spinosaurus and just the back. It just has the overall structure of a Sarcosuchus and Dinosuchus. It has that, that DNA. It must have. But that's only if it's a hybrid, because right now they're not really calling the Spinosaurus a hybrid in the Jurassic World universe, but realistically it is a hybrid just because of how much different it looks than the real life Spinosaurus. We all know that, right, Spino fanboy?
Yeah, and if we compare the skull shape, even compared to the skull shape to the 2005 Spinosaurus, it was much more different. Its jaw is way more shaped. Its jaw is more thicker. Yeah, you could say it's more longer, but it's more thicker than an accurate Spinosaurus. Even to the 2005 one, that one still had a relatively skinnier jaw.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, both of the new Spinosaurus and even the older accurate one, are not as strong as the full-grown Ingen Spinosaurus. That's definitely for sure. Just because of the overall shape,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, another thing to point out is its crocodilian behaviors, especially when it fought the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, like I was saying, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, when the Spinosaurus fought the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park 3, you can clearly see that when the Spinosaurus jumped down, it jumped up just like a crocodilian would to eat its prey.
That is true, yeah.
And its behaviors is kind of juvenile-like. And before you tell me, well, some animals do that when they're not juvenile. Well, yeah, but think about it. This animal is similar to a crocodile.
True.
We pointed out
True.
before. So if we do all this calculation, it would be either a juvenile or an early subadult.
Exactly. It's not an adult or a late subadult. We know that for a fact. And not even besides mine and other people I talked to as evidence, it is officially canon because Colin Trevorrow announced the size of the Ingen Spinosaurus in Jurassic World, and then a 2018 book called Jurassic World Special Edition From DNA to Indominus-Rex also announced 18 meters long and 9 meters tall at the top of the sale. So whether people are like it or not, it is 100% canon. But today we're going to be talking more about it. So here's the thing. Here's the main reasons why the Indominus-Rex only got 1 meter bigger than the biggest thing it was mixed with. For example, a Giganotosaurus is 18 meters. Oh my God, why did I say that? No, Giganotosaurus is 14 meters, and the Indominus-Rex is 15.2 meters, so it's only 1.2 meters bigger. So it still got bigger, but not that much bigger. And here's the reason why it only got a little bit bigger than what it's mixed with. It's because of the DNA it was mixed with. Carnotaurus DNA, that's a smaller dinosaur. Rugops, Majungasaurus, those are smaller, dinosaurs. Velociraptor, that's a very smaller dinosaur. So all those smaller, dinosaurs are gonna prevent the Indominus-Rex from growing to a super big size. Yes, I know it has T-Rex and Giga DNA, but at the same time, it was only given T-Rex and Giga DNA. It was only given T-Rex and Giga DNA to make it slightly taller and longer than T-Rex, not for a gigantic kaiju size. But the reason why it was given smaller DNAs is to prevent it from getting way too big, because the Indominus-Rex is a very lean animal. It only weighs 8 tons when fully grown, and 8 tons for 15.2 meters long is very lightweighted.
And another thing to point out is its bite force. If you can clearly look at the teeth looks like its bite force would actually be weaker than Rex's. Mostly,
for sure, the Indominus-Rex's bite force is not as strong as Rexy. Now, Who has a stronger bite force, the Spinosaurus or Indominus? I mean, I might be possible the adult Spinosaurus has a stronger bite force, or at least the same as Indominus, but the juvenile one, I'm not too sure. But
I mean, I would say probably, mostly because if you look at its teeth, it's similar to a Giganotosaurus. By the way, I'm not saying it has Giganotosaurus DNA, but its teeth are incredibly similar to Giganotosaurus teeth. So I'm guessing its bite force would be around 8,000 psi, and maybe even higher.
Yeah, it's definitely a big possibility. So yeah, it might even have like the Ingen Spinosaurus. It definitely doesn't have like a stronger bite force than a Tyrannosaurus, but Indominus-Rex, it is possible it actually might have a stronger bite force than Indominus-Rex. I could definitely see that, to be honest. But here's the thing, like the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, let's say it is a hybrid, like, you know, realistically, the things it's mixed with would make it a little bit bigger than the real-life Spinosaurus, because think about it, Baryonyx and Suchomimus, they're larger carnivores. Spinosaurus is a very large carnivore. Sarcosuchus and Deinosuchus, those are also very large too. Those are the same size as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, 12 to 13 meters long. They're big crocodiles. And on top of that, Ingen's carnivores are always designed to be bigger than real-life ones. We know that for a fact. No one can argue with that. And on top of that, steroids too. The Ingen Spinosaurus must have been given some type of steroids, because even with those crocodile DNAs, that wouldn't have made him, like, his arms or just overall, like, body mass that strong, because his strength was ridiculously big in JP3 for his size. Like 10.5 tons for a 13-meter animal. Oh my god.
And another thing to point out is especially how, like, Ingen made the Spinosaurus mostly for combat use, mostly because it took out the Navy tanks.
It did, yeah.
You know, and it, my theory is that it used its head to do that, mostly because if you remember that tip of JP3, it busted through the gates by using its head.
Probably used its arms to. It probably used its its claws and hands to like tear apart. Because like remember how the Spinosaurus tore apart the plane? He probably did the exact same thing to the tanks, right? Tear apart the tanks with his fingers, because like he could do that. He's strong enough to do that.
And another thing to note is why the Spinosaurus' bite force could possibly be stronger than the Indominus-Rex's is when it fought the T-Rex in GP3. It didn't like bite it so effectively. It just nibbled on the T-Rex's skin, and then some of the T-Rex's skin fell off. So I'm guessing, the Ingen Spinosaurus has a stronger bite force than Indominus-Rex.
It's definitely possible. I mean, he definitely has stronger arms and all that. But yeah, like overall, it's just like when we look at what the Indominus-Rex is mixed with, it like I know it has two larger carnivores. But besides that, she's mixed with a whole lot of smaller carnivores, while the Spinosaurus is only mixed with large and very large carnivores and also steroids. So, like, that's why he would get that big. Yes, I know when it comes to hybrids, it's not always 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, but technically it is with the Spinosaurus because of what it's mixed with. It's not mixed with any tiny things. Like, Baryonyx is 10 meters long. That's big. Suchomimus is 11 meters long. That's big. Sarcosuchus and Deinosuchus, they're like, 12 to 13 meters long. That's big. Spinosaurus real life, 16 meters long. That's big. And on top of that, giving it like a growth hormone steroids would also help it get bigger too. So like, there's just no way it would be smaller than 16 meters. It would be bigger than 16 meters. Like 18 meters would be a realistic size for it, because other Ingen carnivores would get anywhere from 1 meter to 2 meters bigger too. And I wouldn't be surprised if it got bigger than 18 meters. I mean, personally, I think 18 meters is big enough for an Ingen Spinosaurus, but based off what he's mixed with, I wouldn't, be surprised if he got even bigger than that.
And another thing to note is, it's like Spinosaurus the King says, there's no way that the Spinosaurus was fully grown in Jurassic Park 3. Because, in my opinion, I think it's highly unlikely, based on...
Oh, it's very, very unlikely, because, exactly, because, how can you say a 13-meter long Ingen Spinosaurus is full grown when that's not even the size of the real-life 16-meter long, 7-meter tall real life Spinosaurus. Like it makes absolutely no sense. There's no way it was fully grown. And even if it was 15, 16 meters long, that's still not fully grown. 18 meters long is fully grown, which makes a 13-meter Spinosaurus either a later juvenile or an early subadult.
And another thing to note is a lot of things confirm that it is the size of when it's fully grown.
Yeah.
Based on Jurassic World evidence that Spinosaurus the King and his friends have come up with and
exactly, because
it's a miracle.
Now, there is certain people in the community who obviously still hate this, who shall not be named because I don't want to, cause drama. But at the end of the day, here's a term I go by: once canon, always canon. Because we saw in Jurassic World, they were referring to the Ingen Spinosaurus because that skeleton there is the exact same except for the head crest to the Ingen Spinosaurus, and that sign right below it showed an Ingen Spinosaurus and a Spinosaurus skeleton that looks just like the Ingen Spinosaurus, and it said 60 feet, 18 meters long. It didn't say 16 meters. Now, I know Jurassic World Evolution said the Spinosaurus would be 15 meters long, but that game is not canon. It was confirmed by Colin, not canon. In Jurassic World, what we see in the actual movie is canon. So this debate is over.
And
yeah, bro.
Jurassic World Evolution, what it did was one of the updates made the Spinosaurus shrink. So
wait, shrink is are you sure? Because when the game first came out, they had him 13.3 meters, same size as JP3, and then the update came, and then they made him 15 meters long, which is a little bit bigger, but not big enough. So I'm confused.
That's what I'm saying. Basically, the update, they just made the Spinosaurus even smaller with its update, which I found incredibly assaulting.
Are you sure though? Because I thought they made it bigger with the update, unless there's a brand new update. Because last time I checked, they made it bigger, but not by much. It's still 15 meters is still too small, obviously. But you saying they shrunk it, I'm a little confused because last time I checked, they made it a little bigger.
Well, I mean, there was an update that they did make it smaller, but maybe they made it bigger. I don't know.
True, but here's the thing: they made it bigger, but they still didn't make it big enough. And here's the thing: I heard that the reason why they only made it 15 meters long is because they're comparing it to the real life Spinosaurus. But that's just retarded, though, and that is complete bullshit because this is not the real life Spinosaurus. This is a genetically engineered hybrid monster created by Dr. Henry Wu and was not designed to be a real life Spinosaurus. It was designed to be taller, stronger, heavier, and bigger than a real life Spinosaurus. And people don't have to agree with that, but that it's been 100% proven. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is that we've already proved them wrong, and we already know that the Spinosaurus is not fully grown in JP3.
Yeah, it's nowhere near being fully grown.
When it's fully grown, it's 60 feet wide, around 30 feet tall. And
yeah, true. Now, I know the Jurassic World miniature game is not currently 100% canon. I get that. However, it's a possibility it will become canon because if it wasn't ever going to be canon, why would it say it's awaiting? Because on the website it says it's awaiting approval from Universal Pictures. So I mean that is kind of a sign that they're waiting to get approval. So it's possible. But here's the thing. Here's a theory though. I actually think there actually was 2 U.S. Navy teams instead of one sent to Isla Sorna, because think about it. Why would they only send one U.S. Navy team to Isla Sorna when this is a massive island? They would have to have another U.S. Navy team show up before the other one showed up because they would have to secure the area to make sure no big dinosaurs get to the beach. So what if there's a U.S. Navy team that showed up and they was securing the area, so by the time the other U.S. Navy team that we saw in the movie came, there wouldn't be any big dinosaurs nearby. Maybe once they rescued Dr. Grant and them, the Spinosaurus, came across the other U.S. Navy team and cilled them off. That's what I think happened.
Generally, I think that's what happened too.
And there's a lot of evidence to back it up too. I can't say this is 100% canon, but in my opinion, this is canon. But even if this did not happen, the Ingen Spinosaurus would be tank proof. And here's why: if you look at modern day freshwater and saltwater crocodiles, they're to some degree bulletproof. They are actually bulletproof to certain smaller and medium sized guns. Maybe not like a giant sniper, but to smaller guns, they are bulletproof. It's been proven too.
A good case is like a good thing to prove that what Spinosaurus the King said is one of the cases of a man-eating crocodile that a lot of villagers tried to shoot, but it was bulletproof because how thick it was and how
exactly. And plus, just compare the strength difference to the juvenile Spinosaurus and just a saltwater crocodile. It's a big difference. So that automatically proves he's tank proof because of how much stronger he is than the crocodile. And look how impressive just a normal saltwater crocodile is. And on top of that, this thing is like, I can't, like, okay, right now it's not canonly announced if he's a hybrid or not, but if he is, he's mixed with like Sarcosuchus and Dinosuchus and Spinosaurus and saltwater crocodile and, maybe a little bit of steroids in there, growth hormones and frog DNA. Like, just all of that, he would be tank proof. He'd be a monster.
Yeah, and I feel like that was Dr. Wu's intention.
Yeah, it was. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, people say the Indominus-Rex was made for military. First of all, I know it kind of was, but at the same time, it technically wasn't. And here's why. She was meant to be an attraction for Jurassic World. They only made her bigger because the audience wanted to see a scarier dinosaur that was bigger and badder than T-Rex, and that was a hybrid. And they got that. While the Spinosaurus was not meant to be a captivity dinosaur, like, it was the way it was looked. It was designed for military.
Also, at the beginning of Jurassic World, Claire also said that she said that people are getting bored of dinosaurs, so that means they need to start making genetically modified hybrids.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
That's why Indominus-Rex is not meant for fighting purposes. It's meant to be,
Yeah, and plus, like I said, this thing would not be nearly as good as the military as the Spinosaurus, because the Spinosaurus is it's taller, it's longer, it's much stronger, it's got better designed fingers and claws to tear through things. The Indominus-Rex tried to even tear through a tank or tear through a plane. Her claws would fall right off because of how weak they were compared to the Ingen Spinosaurus claws.
And also, if you look, people might say, well, doesn't the Indominus-Rex have a longer reach, or its longer claws are more dangerous? No, that's not true. It's longer claws, yeah, they're longer claws.
They're sharper, but the Spinosaurus claws can dig in. Here's what makes the Spinosaurus claws more dangerous than the Indominus-Rex's claws. The Spinosaurus claws are stronger, so it can dig in deeper to its prey, causing the prey to be severely injured, while the Indominus-Rex can only slightly get through the plate, not much, because its claws are not strong enough.
Yeah, and that's really why the Spinosaurus was intended for the fighting animals, or generally surviving against the sauna.
But I just don't understand why people keep on trying, what I find annoying is that people are going off Jurassic Park Wiki and Jurassic World Wiki and saying they're canon when they're not, because, Jack Ewins, the guy who owns the Dinosaur Protection Group, confirmed the only canon websites that we currently have is the Dinosaur Protection Group and the Maserati Global website. So, and then on top of that, people are using Jurassic World Evolution to talk about the Spinosaurus size, but we have official canon sources from the actual movie saying he's 18 meters. So why do we choose to ignore that? This official size was given in Jurassic World for how big he'd be when fully grown, and an almost canon book, because I don't know if this book is fully canon, but it certainly has certain things in there that are canon, which is the Jurassic World from DNA to Indominus book. It already revealed the size. This is no longer up for debate. So certain people just don't want to accept it, I guess.
Yeah, and based on its fully grown size means, there's no way that a dinosaur would take it down. It would probably have to be in a group, for example, 3 T-Rexes versus the fully grown Ingen Spinosaurus. That'd probably be...
Yeah, I'd say it would take at least 3, because if we're gonna compare the full grown 18-meter Ingen Spino to 2 T-Rexes, the 2 T-Rexes would get absolutely slaughtered. It would cut both their heads off. I'm not just saying this because I hate T-Rex. It's just true. Because think about it. When he was a later juvenile, early subadult, he killed not a subadult. He killed a fully grown T-Rex in 24 seconds. And when the T-Rex wasn't just defeated in 24 seconds, it was dead. And when you look at the Indominus-Rex when fighting Rexy was a lot weaker. She only weighed 7 tons in Jurassic World. and she has very little fighting experience, and she was, you know, eating goats, and she was very old. She was like 30 years old in Jurassic World, and when she bit the Indominus-Rex, the Indominus-Rex was bleeding like crazy, and after 1 minute of them fighting, Rexy was not dead. She was only defeated, but with the Spinosaurus, it took out a T-Rex stronger than Rexy because Rexy was old, and the T-Rex was not, it wasn't defeated in 24 seconds. It was dead in 24 seconds.
Also, another thing to note is the Spinosaurus, instead of trying to get the T-Rex to the ground, it just tried to kill it, okay? That's all it really wanted to do. It didn't try to make it lay on the ground so it could be easy kill.
Yeah, because exactly,
Indominus-Rex.
Yeah, because the Spinosaurus is clearly, like, this is the facts, but it's clearly a lot more aggressive than the Indominus-Rex. It was, like the way it was roaring, its attitude, it's more wilder. Like, that's another reason why it would win to the Indominus-Rex. It's a more wilder animal. It's been raised in the wild, while the Indominus-Rex is raised on an island that doesn't have as much dinosaurs as Sorna, and it's raised in captivity.
And, like, the Spinosaurus, I would say it would have way more battle experience. It's unknown how much battle experience it had.
Well, it certainly has way more than Rexy, and also way more than the Indominus-Rex, because as we know, Sorna has a lot more dinosaurs than Nublar. We know that for a fact.
And I believe that even Sorna is bigger than Nublar.
Four times bigger, to be exact.
So, and there's way more dangerous dinosaurs on that island.
Oh, there is,
way more dangerous dinosaurs.
Exactly. It's just like here's the thing. Some people say to other people that, oh, you think the Spinosaurus wins because we're Spinosaurus fanboys. Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying the Ingen Spinosaurus wins because I'm a Spinosaurus fanboy. I'm saying it wins because it's been proven to win. It's it's stronger. It's a lot more aggressive. Its claws are more useful. It might even have a stronger bite force. It killed a T-Rex way faster. And on top of that, here's the thing. Some people say this. The Indominus-Rex is stronger because it survived a Mosasaurus bite and it survived a rocket launcher. Here's the thing. The Spinosaurus was shot 6 times in a row by massive explosive bullets. The Indominus-Rex was shot 20 feet away, only one shot, and that shot wasn't even directly on it to the rocket launcher, and it still brought it down. Well, the Spinosaurus probably didn't even fall to the ground when it got shot with all that. So the Spinosaurus did something more impressive than the Indominus-Rex right there. And here's the thing. Old Rexy bit the Indominus-Rex's neck, and the Indominus-Rex's neck was bleeding like crazy. But when the younger, stronger T-Rex bit the Spinosaurus in JP3, there was no blood at all. So that already proves alone the Mosasaurus bite would not break the Spinosaurus's neck, because think about it, it survived a stronger T-Rex than Rexy. So people can't really use that for an excuse anymore. What are your thoughts on that?
Guys, please don't say that the T-Rex from Jurassic Park 3 was a sub-adult.
Oh no, it wasn't. Here's the thing. I will also say this. So people are saying that the filmmakers use CGI effects to make the T-Rex a sub-adult in JP3. People know that they use the adult animatronic, and the script says fully grown, but they're saying they use CGI effects to make it smaller. I'm sorry to say this, but that's complete bullshit, because when you compare the size of that Spinosaurus and that T-Rex, they're literally the same size except for the sail and the Spinosaurus, exactly the same. Maybe 1 meter length difference at the most, not even that. So, I don't understand, why do people come up with these stupid excuses but don't have any evidence to back them up?
Also, the thing is, unlike Indominus-Rex, she got eaten by the Mosasaurus. You never know that the Spinosaurus could escape because it could swim.
Exactly.
We don't know if the Indominus-Rex could swim or not, but we know for sure that the Spinosaurus from 2001 can swim.
Yeah, it's very dangerous on land, and it's also very dangerous in water. It's both. But what else was I gonna say? I kind of forget now, but. Oh yeah, and on top of that, besides Colin Trevorrow confirming it in his film, recently Jack Anthony Ewins also confirmed that 18 meters long is canon for the Ingen Spinosaurus. So, I mean, with him saying that and Colin Trevorrow saying that, and with, me, you, and our other, Spinosaurus fans in the community having all this evidence, it's no longer up for debate if he's fully grown or not. I know at one point he was, but in Jurassic World 2015, they changed the canon, and sometimes you can change the canon, because in Jurassic Park 3, technically, they didn't say it was fully grown. I know they said it was fully grown with the animatronic and all that, but they never said it was fully grown in the actual movie. Did you ever at one time hear them say a fully grown Spinosaurus in the movie? And on top of that, even the script didn't say a full grown Spino. It just said Spinosaurus. So technically, in Jurassic Park 3, they didn't fully say it was fully grown, to be honest.
Yeah, and I still think it's hard to believe that the Spinosaurus from JP3 was fully grown. Like, come on.
It wasn't. Like, here's the thing. It wasn't even, like, here's the thing. It not only was it not fully grown, it wasn't anywhere near being fully grown. Like, 13 meters long to 18 meters long, that's like a 5 meter length difference. That's pretty big. So that would make him, like, at the oldest, an early subadult.
Yeah, so the Spinosaurus generally is, it's hard to explain. The thing is just a killing machine.
It is, yeah.
Basically, like I said before, it's a T-Rex slayer.
True.
It's an Indominus-Rex slayer.
It is. It would kill both of them for sure. It's been like here's the thing. If it was two T-Rexes versus the juvenile Spinosaurus, maybe the T-Rexes would probably win then, but it would be a very, very close fight because of how fast he killed one adult T-Rex.
Yeah.
And same with Indominus-Rexes. If it was two Indominus-Rexes versus the juvenile Spinosaurus, it would be a close fight, but obviously the Indominus-Rexes would win because it's 2 against, 1, right?
Yeah. And the Spinosaurus in water versus the Indominus-Rex, that's an easy W for the Ingen Spinosaurus.
That's not even a fight. If it's in the water, it's not even a fight. On land, it would be a decent fight, but no matter what, the Spinosaurus wins. But if it's in water, it's just a straight up kill.
Yeah. And based on its more muscular arms, it's way better at swimming than the Indominus-Rex. Even if the Indominus-Rex could swim, its swimming skills wouldn't be nearly as impressive as the Spinosaurus's, mostly because its arms are more muscular. And that's why...
Yeah, its arms are a lot more muscular. Like I said, even the 13-meter Spinosaurus has more muscular arms than the 15-meter Indominus-Rex. And obviously a lot more than the 13-born 4 subadult Indominus. Like, it was just designed to be stronger. I feel like the reason why the Indominus-Rex was not, super strong, I think Dr. Wu didn't really design to be super strong because, think about it, if he did design to be super strong, it would have bursted through its paddock and it would have killed everything. So the reason why he designed it to be a weaker, only a little bigger than T-Rex is because if he designed it to be a much massive animal, then it would be impossible to control it.
Yeah, and you could say the Indominus-Rex has really, good intelligence, but I still think the Spinosaurus, the Ingen Spinosaurus, would win.
It would. It's like saying this. Like, when you compare the Spinosaurus, even the juvenile Spinosaurus to the adult Indominus, it's similar to comparing I don't know. It's like saying Catwoman can beat up Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a lot stronger than Catwoman. And, maybe who knows? Maybe he's not as smart, but he's still a lot stronger. He's more aggressive, and he's got better fighting skills. So that's the thing. The Catwoman or Indominus would put up a decent fight to Spider-Man and the juvenile Spinosaurus, but they wouldn't win though.
Yeah, and
if it's the adult, Spinosaurus versus the Indominus-Rex, it's like saying a female 400-pound lion can kill an 800-pound male tiger, and that's impossible.
Yeah, and generally, I think this is a good example of here's a good example of something having a longer distance for their arms. For example, Logan Paul versus KSI, the rematch. Logan Paul lost, and he had a longer arm distance because it wasn't as effective as KSI's. And that's a good example of it because the Spinosauruses, the Ingen Spinosauruses, are way more effective than the Indominus-Rexes.
Exactly, yeah.
And, the Spinosaurus' claws are meant for tearing.
They are, yeah.
Unlike the accurate one, which is, depends which one you're looking at. Like, the 2005 one.
But here's the thing though. It doesn't matter if it gets let's say they confirm the Spinosaurus in the Jurassic World franchise is scientifically accurate for that franchise, or they confirm it a hybrid. It doesn't matter because either way, it's still going to be 18 meters regardless because number one, even if it's scientifically accurate for the franchise, it's still based off the 2005 18-meter long Spinosaurus. Or if it's a hybrid, it still has the DNA to make him that size. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what they do. It still will get to that size.
Yeah, and it's already been debunked that
because like right now, like like in Jack Ewins' video when he talked about the Spinosaurus, he said there's currently no right or wrong answer. So like it could have been a hybrid or it could have been accurate, just for the Jurassic Park franchise. I mean, like I'd be fine either way as long as as long as they bring it back at the 18-meter size, because like just because now it's canon he gets that big, it still doesn't 100% confirm we're gonna see him that size in Jurassic World Dominion if he's back. I mean, it would be pretty dumb if they don't bring him back that size, because they already confirmed he gets to that size. But I mean, I'm guessing if he's back in Jurassic World Dominion, if he survived, he will be that size, just because they already confirmed it. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, and like, see, at the end of the day, the Ingen Spinosaurus just has like more advantages. Look, yes, Indominus-Rex is smarter and faster.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mean it will win.
True. Yeah, like like you said, it might even have the stronger bite force. So technically, the only advantages it has is speed and intelligence, and that doesn't 100% always mean the winner. Like, there's a small chance the Indominus would win, but the chances are very, very small.
Yeah.
The Spinosaurus, it's just, it's just more of a military weapon than the Indominus-Rex is, the Ingen one.
And based how the Indominus-Rex is shaped compared to the Spinosaurus could knock it over. I mean, knock it to the ground.
Oh, easily. It wouldn't struggle. Like, the Indominus-Rex would struggle to tackle it down. The Spinosaurus would knock it down pretty fast. Probably just one hit. Probably one hit, it would fall to the ground. It wouldn't be dead, but it would definitely be knocked to the ground in like one big hit.
Yeah.
And even the sail of the Ingen Spinosaurus is like supremely strong, because the right wing of the plane hit the Spinosaurus' sail, and it did only like a drop of blood.
Yeah, and the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, like I said, like just barely even nibbled the Tyrannosaurus Rex, like near the tail, and its flesh came out.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
That's why.
And even after the fight, like I said, after the fight with the Spinosaurus and the adult T-Rex, there was no blood on that Spinosaurus, and that wasn't even the full-grown Ingen Spinosaurus, and there was nothing on his neck. Like, he had a couple scars for a second, but then they healed fast because of what he's mixed with. Like, he has so much more arm. Like, his skin is more tougher. Like, I know the Indominus-Rex has more spikes, but the Spinosaurus' skin is a lot stronger and more tougher and a lot more, proof from weapons.
Yeah, and based on it, taking out the Navy, we could tell its skin is incredibly, tough, and especially its bone. The bone, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, yeah. The Ingen Spinosaurus, just like Indominus-Rex, it definitely has increased bone density. And like I said, people can no longer really use the excuse that, the Indominus-Rex survived the Mosasaurus and the rocket launcher. Well, the Spinosaurus took out a T-Rex a lot stronger than Rexy, was not bleeding at all, so how can they use that for an excuse? Like, it's hilarious. And on top of that, the Spinosaurus was shot with explosive bullets 6 times in a row, which is just as powerful as a shot from a rocket launcher. And that rocket launcher didn't even hit the Indominus-Rex. It was shot 20 feet away. And on top of that, she fell down while the Spinosaurus most likely didn't fall down, because we didn't hear any big bang in the woods.
Yeah, and, and also the Spinosaurus, like, its skin is so tough that, if there was fire around it, and I'm guessing that if that was the Indominus-Rex, even if the fire was near, I guess it would be third degree burn to the Indominus-Rex, and
True.
It didn't do that to Ingen Spinosaurus.
Yeah, exactly. That's for sure. But yeah, I've been wanting to do a video, like doing a kind of like a misconception video of the Spinosaurus and Indominus-Rex in Jurassic World, because like a lot of YouTubers, except for like a couple, like, because the only other YouTubers I've seen who says the Spinosaurus would beat the Indominus, the only one I actually found was there's a couple of them. Like, there's a guy named Patrik Sparks, I think. He's a really cool kaiju guy. He makes animations. And of course, Altiori did a video explaining why the Spinosaurus would win. But and other popular YouTubers are saying the Indominus-Rex would win. But here's the thing: I don't understand, why are they choosing to ignore what the Spinosaurus's capabilities actually are. Like I don't think they realize how much capabilities it actually has over the Indominus-Rex.
I think it's because they're not aware of its full abilities.
Yeah.
I think they're only aware of the Jurassic Park 3. You know what we saw in Jurassic Park 3. I think that's
I think they're either like, number one, they could be either just ignoring its capabilities because they don't like the animal, or I could be wrong. Maybe they actually don't realize how much stronger the Spinosaurus really is, because, like we said, the Indominus-Rex is a lot weaker than what we actually thought.
Yeah, and like I said, the Spinosaurus it's just, stronger generally.
It is, yeah.
It's just
it is
extremely, strong. And the prototype, in fact, the ancient Spinosaurus was a prototype of the Indominus-Rex, but it's still stronger than the Indominus-Rex.
True.
Think about it.
And I know some people say, like, the Indominus-Rex wasn't fully grown. Well, touche, because the Spinosaurus was not fully grown either. Because I've seen a lot of people say, maybe the Spinosaurus can beat the Indominus-Rex, but it can't beat the adult Indominus. First of all, yes, it can. It's been proven. And second of all, the Spinosaurus was so far from being fully grown. The Indominus-Rex was only a couple feet away from being fully grown.
Yeah.
So, yeah. People can no longer use that for an excuse either. So, like, overall, it's just the Spinosaurus, it would win hands down. And it would grow, and it would get bigger than the Indominus-Rex hands down too, just because of the DNA it's mixed with. And on top of that, some people say a Spinosaurus of the 18-meter size wouldn't be able to support its weight. Well, first of all, paleontologists at one point thought that was accurate, and they never said it would have any problem supporting the weight. And on top of that, like, an 18-meter long, 15 to 16-ton Spinosaurus is the exact same thing as a 13-meter, 10.5, 11-ton Spinosaurus. And look how fast the Spinosaurus was in JP3. It was extremely fast. So the adult Spinosaurus would have no problems running, because he doesn't have to hold, like, 15, 16 tons is not that much weight he has to hold for an 18-meter long carnivore. Like, maybe if he was smaller than that, he wouldn't be able to support his weight. But he wasn't. Like, a 15 to 16-ton 18-meter long Ingen Spinosaurus, it would have no problems holding his weight.
Also, another thing to note about the Ingen Spinosaurus is its body build is just meant for fighting and meant for killing animals. And also,
it is,
the only reason why the Ankylosaurus didn't kill the Indominus-Rex is mostly because I believe that it wasn't fully grown, or it didn't hit it as hard as it usually would.
That's true.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's true, and it's funny too. So a lot of people would say that the Ingen Spinosaurus, like they knew at the time in 2001, it was a fish eater. But when you just look at the way they designed it, it's just so much stronger. And on top of that, if the JP3 Spinosaurus is a fish eater, how did it kill a T-Rex so fast? Why was it in the middle of a forest, nowhere near any water? Like, it was far away from water in the whole movie, except for the final scene it was in. So that automatically proves the Ingen Spinosaurus is not a fish eater. That's for sure.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. It's not a fish eater. There's absolutely no evidence to prove it, too.
So, like, I believe that, it's a possibility it was, but it was mostly just, eating herbivores. Like, I'm guessing if it saw fish, maybe. But most likely, it ate herbivores.
I feel like it would only eat fish if it, like, let's say, for example, it goes for a swim to get some exercise or to cool off and it sees a fish. I feel like that's the only way he would eat fish.
Yeah, true.
But if he's in, like, the middle of the land and he sees a bunch of herbivores, he's gonna go for them if he's hungry.
Yeah, sorry for the long pause.
It's okay.
Yeah. And if you look carefully, like, at its, like, stronger, thicker, fingers.
Yeah.
It just has they're just way more durable than the Indominus-Rexes.
Yeah, true. But yeah, like, here's the thing. People use, like, I don't understand what some people use toys and Jurassic World Evolution for evidence to show the Spinosaurus wouldn't grow to 18 meters. But like I said, there's evidence from the movie, and whatever we see in the movie is canon, and there's evidence from canon books. And on top of that, what he's mixed with too would make him bigger. So, and on top of that, like, Jack Anthony Ewins, the owner of the DBG, confirmed 18 meters for this Ingen Spinosaurus. So, like, the debate is over with. I don't understand why people keep on, like, arguing about it.
Yeah, it's just, it's dumb that people are still arguing.
True.
You know,
I mean, I don't respond. Well, if I ever get like random people trying to talk to me about it to like debate, I don't answer because like I don't like debating like all the time because it is really annoying. And plus, if people want to see my opinions, they can just simply watch my videos.
yeah, and that's really what I have to say. And also another thing to note is the Ingen Spinosaurus, the Spinosaurus. This was actually proven by White Eyes. It's
White Eyes is cool. Yeah.
Like crocodilian, structures at its
Yeah,
tail.
White Eyes. Yeah, exactly. Like if you look at like White Eyes is proof to show the Spinosaurus was like a early subadult, later juvenile. Is the bone fragments on the tail were exactly like a juvenile crocodile. They weren't like the adult ones. So like that's just even more proof.
Yeah. So either way, at the end of the day, the Ingen Spinosaurus takes victorious when it fights the Indominus-Rex. No more debate about it.
Yeah, true. There is no more debate. It's already been debunked for a while now. Now, I really hope they don't bring back the Ingen Spinosaurus because, like, even though it's way stronger than, like, basically everything, like, obviously the directors can do whatever the heck they want. They can bring it back and show it being killed off to T-Rex or Giga. I hope they don't do that because that's going to feel so unrealistic. Like, I really hope that if it comes back and fights Giga, it wins to Giga and it doesn't fight T-Rex. Because having it fight T-Rex, it's not going to solve anything no matter who wins. Because if the T-Rex wins, the Spinosaurus fans are going to go crazy. And if the Spinosaurus wins, the T-Rex fans are going to go crazy. So, in my personal opinion, a rematch is, like, the biggest mistake the filmmakers can ever make in their entire life in the franchise.
Also, So I would actually, I wouldn't want to see the Spinosaurus versus the Giganotosaurus, mostly because, the Giga's a new dinosaur.
True.
So I don't know.
And plus, it wouldn't be a fair fight, too. Whether it's the juvenile or the adult Spinosaurus, judging how fast it killed the T-Rex and how powerful it was, it wouldn't be a fair fight unless it was 2 Gigas. I mean, I would love to see 2 Gigas versus the Spinosaurus, but one-on-one, it's only going to be a 20-30 second fight max.
Yeah. So, if I had to choose, I would actually want a Spinosaurus against, a big herbivore. Maybe, Stegosaurus. And obviously, it coming out the victor, mostly because how powerful it is.
Easily, that wouldn't be, to be honest, that wouldn't be a fight either. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see, I mean, it's probably best they don't do this, but it would be cool to see it fight, like, a Mamentosaurus or Brachiosaurus, but, I personally don't want to see any more long necks die, because we've seen enough long necks die, so maybe it's for the best they bring it back not to fight anything possibly, just because it's too strong for everything right now, and there's not going to be any hybrids in the next movie, so unless they make the Giganotosaurus 18 meters long or bigger, then there's no point in having it fight anything, but, I mean, I still would think it would still be cool to see it fight Giga, but it's not going to be a very long fight.
Yeah, and, if we did get to see the franchise hasn't really had a carnivore versus a herbivore fight. Yeah, you could say in Jurassic World they did. Not really. I don't count that as a fight, mostly because how incredibly biased the movie directors were going with Indominus-Rex.
Yeah.
Even though Indominus-Rex would die to it.
True. Well, I mean, there wasn't a long fight. I mean, if there's any herbivore versus carnivore fights in Jurassic World Dominion, I'm hoping for either T-Rex versus Triceratops or Allosaurus versus Stegosaurus. Those are my hopes because those are very, very fair fights. Like I could honestly go either way.
Yeah, and if there was a Spinosaurus against a herbivore, it feels like more of an even fight. I would say maybe if we were doing it even, maybe 3 to 4 Stegosauruses. Or, I don't know, maybe 3 Ankylosauruses against a fully grown Ingen Spinosaurus.
I'd rather see that than one-on-one, because one-on-one, it's going to be... One-on-one, it's not a fight, it's a straight-up kill.
Or maybe we could just see, in the film, we could see, the Ingen Spinosaurus' life, how it lives on Isla Sorna, maybe what it does, or how it hunts, maybe something like that.
Because right now, it's the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is not currently killed off because that DBG render of the Spinosaurus is confirmed fake. And on the DBG, it said the Spinosaurus was subject to cruelty, which doesn't necessarily mean he's dead. So it's a possibility he's dead, but it's not 100% confirmed. Right now, it's officially unknown if he's alive or dead.
Yeah, and I hope he's not dead because, I feel like it would be just...
Same, because here's the thing, we've never seen a full-grown Ingen Spinosaurus in the franchise. We've only seen the subadult, so I want to see what the adult is capable of doing, and that's the other reason why I don't want him back as a juvenile subadult again. It's because we've already seen that. Why can't they show him as an adult so we can see what he's capable of doing as an adult? It would be amazing, even if he's only in the movie for like a little bit, and it's just that one movie he appears in for an adult, I'd still be satisfied that we got to see an adult Spinosaurus for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hope they would show it in more films, but even if they just bring it one time only, it would still be amazing to at least see it.
Yeah, it would also be amazing to see, like, it swim to catch, I don't know, like maybe swim up to a herbivore and jump out like a saltwater crocodile.
Yeah, and kind of like a Sarthak, because like I feel like maybe that's a strategy the Ingen Spinosaurus would do. It would sneak into the water where a bunch of herbivores were drinking water, and it would jump out like a crocodile and drag them in the water. I feel like the Ingen Spinosaurus would guarantee do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would do that.
Well, because that's what Sarthak and saltwater crocodiles do nowadays. So since he has that DNA, he would guarantee do that.
And it really depends, like, how deep the water is, but you never know. The Spinosaurus could do the death roll, kind of like the, crocodilians do.
I feel like, yeah, if the water's deep enough, I feel like the Ingen Spinosaurus actually would do a death roll with the herbivore in the water, but that's only if the water's deep enough. If it's not deep enough, he's just going to probably bite their neck. And, like, here's the thing. I feel like the Ingen Spinosaurus would snap herbivores next to, like, for example, if let's say it was hunting for, like, a Triceratops, a Stegosaurus, or an Ankylosaurus, it would probably try to, they would probably grab them by the neck and snap it just like the T-Rex. Like, could you see it? Like, this is when they fight on land. I could actually see the Spinosaurus doing that on land with them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that it could happen, and I really do hope it does.
True, but like I said, if the water's deep enough, I feel like he actually would do the death roll. But if he's on land fighting these herbivores, he'd probably just snap their neck with his hands.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would use, like, its jaw to, like, just, like throw the herbivore down, and I think then it will snap its neck. But I'm guessing that would be...
Probably, yeah, he'd probably do that with the herbivores, and then carnivores, so you do it while they're standing up, because herbivores are shaped differently, so it'd probably be easier for him to knock herbivores down, snap their neck, and then the carnivores, when he fights them, he just snaps their neck when they're standing up.
Yeah. So...
But...
But
yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything I had to say. I mean... We talked about why the Ingen Spinosaurus would grow bigger than the Indominus-Rex. We talked about why it would win to the Indominus-Rex. What else did we talk about? We talked about why the Jurassic Park and World Wikis are fake. Well, like they're not canon. And Jurassic World Evolution is not canon. I mean, is there anything else we missed about the Spinosaurus and Indominus-Rex?
I don't really think so.
Same. So should we end the video here? Because I think it's been a long video. But anyways, guys, tell us, what are your overall thoughts on this?
Then, yeah. Like, subscribe to Spinosaurus King, and my channel will probably be listed down.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, tell us, what are your thoughts on that? How do you think the Ingen Spinosaurus would kill, like, is it, its prey? And, do you hope it returns in Jurassic World Dominion so we can see him for a full-grown adult for the first time? And I also did buy the Jurassic World Special Edition from a DNA to Indominus book with the adult Spinosaurus, and I will be reviewing that book very soon. But anyways... Tell us your opinions on this in the comments down below. To end this video, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my YouTube team, Patrik, Cauan, my 2D and 3D animator, Jacob 101, my 3D animator, David Church, the best director I met on Instagram, BK Go Crazy, my very first hardcore Spinosaurus fan, Zane Schiller, my first friend in the Jurassic Park community on Instagram, Anthony Ellis, my drawer who draws epic background pictures that I use in some of my videos, Rafly Siregar, my comedian since he makes me laugh the most, and Animal World, my best dinosaur friend in real life. If you're interested in any Spinosaurus the King merchandise that I'm selling on my Patreon, the link will be in the description. I'm currently selling t-shirts based off the animations that me and Patrik make, which costs $40 to $50 per shirt. Sweaters are a bit more expensive, unfortunately. Coffee cups are about $32 per one. I'm also selling custom Photoshop pictures to use for whatever you need, some for which is $5 per one. If you're a fan of my discussion videos and wish to be on one discussion video a week of your choice for 35 minutes for the discussion video, that will cost $15 a month. It'll be basically like we talk about whatever you want. If you wish to support me to get better content from me, then contact me through my email or other social medias to talk about it. If you wish to have a 10-second cameo of getting eaten by a dinosaur of your choice in upcoming animations, that will cost $5 a month to appear in each upcoming animation. Receiving deleted scenes of previous animation films is $10 a month, which will give you a concept art and deleted scenes about 2 a month. Me and Patrik have our own website where we talk about our series Jurassic World Survival of the Fittest, and where we also post concept art of our upcoming projects, and we also post Jurassic Park dinosaur theories. Like, for example, we have the Spinosaurus, the history of it, and we also have Jurassic World Franchise remaster coming soon, and future projects will be posted on our website. So if you're interested in reading Jurassic Park fun theories and to speculate, come check out our website. Also, if you guys wish to join my Discord server to chat with me about Jurassic Park and other stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just remember to be respectful and polite. The link will be in the description below to my website and my Discord. If you're enjoying the content on my YouTube channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything new. Leave a like and a friendly comment. If you have any friends and family who you think would enjoy my content, please share this video with them, and also my YouTube channel too. And don't forget to do the exact same thing for my YouTube team. And have an amazing day, everyone.